So we need to talk a little bit about The Sims 4 for rent. My face is not on camera today because I look like trash. I have whooping cough. It is going around the UK. I feel literally horrendous. I will be continuing my Sims 4 Let's Play with Shanice and Chantal playing The Sims 4 for rent. However, I'm not really feeling that great, so it is going to be postponed. I do very much apologize. Once I'm feeling better, I'll start recording it. But for the meantime, I want to talk about, yes, and my voice is cracking as well because I have a sore throat and I can't even laugh, and that's going to be very hard. I really just wanted to talk about this. Do you know what? Not just the state of The Sims 4, the state of video games in general. Why are developers constantly releasing broken games and just fixing them as they go along? You lazy little Just wait until something is ready to be released before you release it. It's not bloody hard. The Sims 4 for rent is certainly not as bad as packs like My Wedding Stories, which were, literally severely broken upon release and still are severely broken. Same with The Sims 4 Dying Out. The same could be said for The Sims 4 High School Years. This is a really weird one for me because I feel like I'm the only one, because everybody's talking about for rent as if it's like this incredible pack and it's a must-have because it's so amazing. Sure, if you're a builder, for rent is a really great pack for the apartments. The issue I have fundamentally is firstly how broken it is, and secondly how shallow a lot of the features are. I already highlighted it in my review, so I'm not going to repeat it, but one of the biggest issues for me was like the snooping thing, where you snoop a neighbor's house but the neighbors are literally at home as you're snooping them and they don't even acknowledge the fact that you're snooping them. And I've seen this happen in many Sims for rent Let's Plays, not just my own, so I know it's not a me problem. You can snoop in a neighbor's house and break in, but the actual neighbor whose house you're breaking into doesn't even acknowledge the fact that you're breaking in. I can't really tell if this is just like a bug or if it's just genuinely implemented that badly that they didn't bother to consider the fact that your neighbor would be annoyed if you broke into their house. It's not just that, but it's, the fact that you're not getting paid as a landlord. Some people are getting paid, other people are not. I got paid once as a landlord, but I didn't get paid like every single week like you're supposed to. The landlord and tenant events just weren't really happening, and I was getting the same ones repeating over and over again. There were glitches with the events and they weren't working properly. An issue I had was that when my sim had to pay their bills, they were like astronomically high for no reason. I saw another Sims creator had bills that were like 34 billion or something like that. Like, there's a lot of issues with this pack that I'm seeing a lot of people having, and I don't really see that many people talking about it, and I really want to talk about it because it is really, really expensive. $34.99 or whatever it is in your local currency is a lot of money to pay for an expansion pack. I've played AAA video games which have cheaper expansion packs which literally give you more than 50 hours of gameplay. The Sims 4 for rent, it has a very hefty price tag to it, and with that price tag I do expect a premium experience. Yes, I am being a Karen, and I think it's important to highlight because of how expensive it is and how I do think it's shocking that EA are getting away with releasing a pack in such a broken state. Yes, I'm in triggered Karen mode right now. I am a snowflake. I'm a triggered Karen snowflake. A lot of people I've noticed are talking about, are EA even testing their video games? And I don't know exactly how they deal with The Sims 4, but usually what happens in video game testing processes, a video game developer will hire loads of testers to test their video game, and what they basically do is they try and find as many bugs as they can, and they write down like a step-by-step process of how they found these bugs, and then the testers will compile a very long list of every single bug that they've discovered, and then they send that list usually to the executive producer of the video game, and then they will basically decide which bugs need fixing before release and which ones they can fix after release and which ones they can just ignore. Again, I don't know if this is how it works with The Sims 4, but this is how it often works with video games. As far as I'm aware, The Sims 4 packs do get tested before release. If you look at the credits to any Sims 4 pack, then it seems like they do have testers, quality assurance officers. So I wouldn't say it's an issue of Sims 4 packs not being tested. My assumption is, this is just an assumption because I don't know, but my assumption is they are testing the packs. They're just choosing not to patch everything properly before release. A lot of the issues that we're seeing now also, for example, landlords not being paid, were issues we saw in early access gameplay of the game. game, and early access YouTubers had access to the game before release. So because they are endorsed by EA, it seems very unlikely that they didn't know these issues existed before release. This makes me believe that EA more than likely knew that The Sims 4 for Rent had major issues in it before release, yet they decided to release it in that state anyway. Not only does this make me feel really worried about The Sims 4 and the amount of money people are paying for packs without potentially realizing these bugs, it also makes me really worried just for the future of The Sims in general. What if they apply this mindset to The Sims 5 of just releasing something broken and not caring about it and having people purchase their games in a broken state? The Sims 4 was released in an awful state upon release, and what if they continue that with The Sims 5? I mean, they're already repeating the exact same online multiplayer mistake they made with The Sims 4, where they turned away from it last minute and tried to change it, and now it seems they're doing the same with The Sims 5. They're going down this multiplayer online thing again. It seems like a curse with The Sims. Any kind of EA game in online, like, it just doesn't work. It's not happening. So if they do behave in a certain way with a pack like The Sims 4 for Rent, will they continue that behavior in the future? Because they've done it in the past and they still continue to seemingly doing it. So why would they not do it for The Sims 5? I'm just making a logical assumption. I've also seen certain people saying that they can't even access for Rent. Honestly, the EA app is insidious. I personally bought some Sims 3 packs in the EA sale, the Black Friday sale. I was unable to download and access those packs, plus some other Sims 3 packs I still haven't been able to download. I got a refund on one of the packs that I bought on the basis that EA basically didn't allow me to download it even though I purchased it. I tried to refund another one and the refund is stuck in a processing error, and I've contacted EA about 7 times and they've ghosted me each time. So that's happening. And I know the issue is happening to a lot of people with Sims 4 packs in general. This is why, guys, I would say if you're thinking about buying for rent, right now there's a major issue with the EA app that you literally can't access any of your downloads and there's no way to do it. This is why I personally do not recommend buying any Sims 4 packs right now, let alone anything off the EA app until they formally address these problems and actually fix them, because they haven't really officially addressed it properly yet. As I said, I've tried to contact them by many different means, but EA are impossible to contact when you have an issue. So I'm still working on it. So that's just a warning if you do plan on buying any Sims 4 packs. But back to the main issue, okay, for rent. I'm just so confused. What the hell is happening with The Sims 4? And is it that the Sims team are losing motivation and care for it? Is it because they're receiving pressure from higher ups to, guys, I just ordered an Uber Eats and my window was open because I'm ill. I feel like I'm shouting in the microphone, and he heard me when I opened the door. He looked at me really weirdly. Sorry. What I'm saying is, as we know, for rent, okay, the cast is fine. I feel like the build mode was mediocre, but it's not the key issue. The world is a key issue. The fact that it came with 9 lots and EA only bothered to decorate and build 6 lots in this world, despite the fact that there are technically 9, and there are only 2 apartments that you can actually live in when you hop into the game. In a pack about apartments, they only give you 2 to choose from. There's a brand new pool party, and none of the lots in this pack even come with pools, so you can't really use the feature very well. The world is full of rabbit holes, and I said before, guys, I don't have a problem with rabbit holes as long as they don't replace other gameplay, but here I felt like they did. And whenever I say this, I always get people say, well, rabbit holes were really big in The Sims 3, and they were, but they typically had a lot more gameplay tied to them, and because The Sims 3 was an open world, rabbit holes didn't really matter as much. Because The Sims 4 is not open world, rabbit holes make it feel significantly more stale. This is why I have an issue with them when they especially replace other gameplay in the pack. And the gameplay that is there is broken or implemented terribly. The Sims 4 is an extremely popular game with millions of players around the world. They definitely have a lot of money, therefore they have the opportunity to spend a lot of money making a good pack. And the fact that we've got, guys, 3 expansion packs and a stuff pack and quite a few kicks in one singular year. EA, as far as I'm aware, EA have never ever done 3 expansion packs in a whole year before. They've done 3 expansion packs this year and they've all been very subpar in terms of their quality and just didn't really come with that much stuff. How are EA getting away with releasing packs that are not only broken, objectively, factually broken because of all the bugs, but also contain very shallow and little gameplay? My personal speculative opinion is people are paying for the packs regardless of of how good or bad they are. People seem to, I don't know, is it that people, guys, you let me know. I mean, you guys buy the packs, but like, tell me, like, I'm genuinely curious, like, do people buy the packs because they just want a new Sims 4 pack? Like, it's an addiction? Do you have an addiction problem? Yes, I'm calling you out. No, I don't mean it in a patronizing way. Like, I'm genuinely curious because, you know, I buy the packs because I'm a Sims content creator and I review them. It's literally part of what I do. If I wasn't a Sims creator, I would not purchase all the packs. I would only purchase, you know, one or two that I like. I wouldn't feel pressure to purchase all of them. But I know a lot of Simmers feel like they need to own the whole collection. And maybe that's feeding into why people get packs because, you know, even though they're shallow and glitchy, is it because people genuinely don't know? I just genuinely like don't know why. And I feel like this is the reason, my personal speculative opinion, this is why EA get away with it, because obviously they make money from it regardless. So it's such a shame. Whenever I come out and say this, I get labeled as some SatchOnSims is a far-right, conservative, racist, sexist, homophobic, transphobic person because he hates The Sims 4. Honestly, this is what the dumb wokes in the Sims community always say about me whenever I say I don't like something about The Sims 4. And like, I'm not saying you can't enjoy The Sims 4. Like, you crack on, mate. If you love The Sims 4 packs as they are, despite being broken and shallow, like, if that's, do you know what I mean? What's that saying? Like, I'm not gonna yuck your yum. If that's what you like, go for it, mate. I just feel like the bar for The Sims 4 and its packs is so low at this point. Like, I've seen, to be honest, I know this sounds a bit patronizing, but I'm really struggling to understand why people are getting so excited about the snooping feature where you find out fake secrets. I said this in my review. They're not even real secrets. They're randomly generated, don't have gameplay impact. Like, is the bar that low? I'm just really struggling to understand it, especially as a person who's played every single Sims game plus most of the Sims spin-off games all my life. The Sims 4 has the least amount of passion and ambition in it compared to any other Sims game. That's the truth. Like, what is the issue? Is it a lack of funding, a lack of time? Is it a lack of passion? I've heard in the video game developer world that EA is like the McDonald's of video gaming companies, and allegedly they have an extremely toxic work culture in all of their studios. I don't know if that's true. If it is true, maybe that's a problem. I just don't know. Do EA realize that their packs are ambitionless and subpar? Do they hear a lot of people in the community who talk about it, or do they stay in a bubble of affirmation and they just ignore it? I genuinely don't know. And I said, like, during my review, I was really looking forward to it because I like playing as, you know, having jobs in The Sims 4 and making money. So I thought it would be a really fun way to make money, but you literally can't even make money from it because that aspect of it is broken. So I was really disappointed, and I feel like I go into every single Sims 4 pack lately thinking this one might actually be okay, and then it's not. The last time we ever actually got a Sims 4 pack which had ambition in it was The Sims 4 Werewolves, in my opinion. Every other pack after Werewolves was pretty bad. Apart from my first kitchen hustle, I always forget what that one is called. That one was actually okay. It wasn't amazing, certainly not, but it was okay. That and Werewolves are the only two packs that have actually been okay over the last few years, and the other ones have just been very, very subpar, and I just don't understand why it's happening. It was really important for me to come onto YouTube today and talk about it because, like you, I pay for the packs. I don't get them for free. My hard-earned money is spent on these packs just as it is for you, and I don't feel like my money was well spent. And I know in some countries Sims 4 packs are really expensive due to like exchange rates. Like even in the UK, for example, Sims 4 packs actually cost a little bit more than they do in the US if you consider the exchange rate. And I know it's like that in a lot of countries. So I'm really hoping that I can be a voice for people who feel like their money wasn't very well spent. And I hope EA stops ignoring Simmers who are complaining about how shallow the packs are and how they're not worth the money, and who are sick of packs being released either broken and or very, very shallow. Maybe one day they'll get the kick up the arse and actually sort themselves out. But until then, I did say in my review, I don't recommend purchasing The Sims 4 for rent. But on a more positive note, there are some packs that I genuinely do recommend buying. I'm gonna pop a link to the videos on the screen, and I'm also gonna put it in the description of my reviews of these packs. So if you are interested in what I personally think are very good packs for The Sims 4, feel free to check out one of these reviews out. Anyway, thank you very much for listening. I will see you in the next one.